The scene is downtown of the city, in the sewers. Uh, Down in the sewers walks quietly Eleanor Mayhew. Anybody who's ever spoken to her knows she does not like the sewers. She has not been in them very often. Um, she is walking, her arms are sort of huddled around her a little bit. She's a little bit defensive and a little bit frightened. She looks like a drowned rat, to be honest. She doesn't look like she's even dressed to go out in the water. She's got sneakers on and a sweatsuit, and she just looks absolutely horrible. Water drips off of her quills, and she is slowly walking, making her way through the sewers. In her hand is her cell phone, which she has been using to sort of light the way a little bit, just making sure she doesn't kill herself over any obstruction that may be down there. Um, but her steps are slow and deliberate. She's down there for a purpose, but not necessarily to find anything, more for something to find her.
And something does find her. First, there are just a few. You've been seeing rats all over the place, but these ones seem a little bit different. They're acting with a purpose behind them. First, there's a few of them, maybe three, four, five, six. Then there's a dozen. Then there's 2 dozen, all looking at you, staring at you. A few run up to your feet and give you a quick sniff. They form up. Some stand on their hind legs. Then they start moving together as a group down one of the sewer passages, stopping when they're about to get out of sight and looking at you.
Eleanor cautiously follows, at first not really taking notice of the rats, or at least actually trying to more ignore them because they sort of creeped her out at first, but the numbers have made her pay attention. She slowly starts to follow them down the paths, down the ways that they lead, until she reaches where they have stopped.
Yes, you have travelled at this point for quite a while down the many paths of the sewers into areas of the sewers you never expected to exist. Areas from the original founding of the city, places where other things once stood but is now in rubble. And they take you to what is looks like a large chamber.
And she walks in, arms still around her side, or around her waist almost, or around her torso, and sort of looks around, trying to figure out exactly where she's been brought. The sewers themselves are already so confusing, and so there's so many stages and representations from different time periods. But the large chamber has caught her attention. She's just sort of looking around, not necessarily saying anything, but waiting for something, almost waiting for something.
Yes. And inside the chamber, you can see perhaps thousands of little beady eyes staring at you. But there is one thing that catches your attention is in the center of the chamber, candles have been lit, and there stands a familiar figure cloaked in black.
And she cautiously walks forward. Uh, Mr. Morgan?
Ah, good evening, Miss Mayhew. I trust my pets weren't rude to you.
Your pets. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yes, they've been very lovely, I guess. There's a lot of them around here, isn't there? She sort of looks around, checking out the beady eyes, a little creeped out, but not too much.
Oh, by all means, there were many more, but I lost quite a few as the storm pipes and sewers flooded unexpectedly. But
Oh,
don't worry, they are quite harmless.
oh, I mean, I guess so. They led me here. I guess. I mean, I'm guessing that's what they did. Um,
Well, yes, one of them came to me and told me that nearby a person was walking around the sewers with a purpose, so I went and sent several of them to come and fetch you.
Thank you for doing that. I really don't know my way. Well, especially around here. I mean, I've never been in your sewers before, so
Mm,
I thank you.
these are some of the things that you will learn in time, I'm sure.
I suppose.
So, why have you sought me out this evening? I believe I still had a few more days left on our agreement.
We did. Um, I'm guessing well, why am I asking? Of course, you've seen the prince's Elysiums and his addresses and such, and I'm guessing you've heard of everything that's happened in the last 48 hours.
Oh, far too much, I'm afraid. The clan Nosferatu has lost one of their most respected primogen of many, many years. It has been quite a loss, but at the very least, I have some consolidation. You can see next to his feet there is a very, very old urn that appears to have been filled with ashes.
She sort of perks around and looks at it. Is that him?
Yes, this is what remains of Eagle, but now I'm not too sure what his real name was.
What his real name was?
Yes, Eagle kept many secrets, even from his own clan. I had eyes in many places, and when that fateful battle that claimed him came, I was watching, helpless to come to his aid.
Wow.
Yes, by the time I would have been able to get all the way across the city, the battle was already over.
So he fell from the Tremere, right? Am I hearing that right?
Yes, he was burned.
Oh God. Um, I'm sorry. Oof, I didn't know. I mean, I heard he was something happened, but I wasn't. I don't have as many connections as you guys, so you know.
Mm, yes, it's been a tragic day for both us and the Tremere. They have suffered their own loss.
Their primogen fell.
Yes, he made his choices, as foolish that I would think them, and he paid the price. Just as our Primogen made his choices, and he paid as well. These are tough times we live in, Miss Mayhew. This is
I
why the clan needs to stick together. This is why family is so important.
I agree. Um, so considering the fact that the anarchs have basically how do you put it, mucked up their own name for basically the entire city, and there's possibly a semi blood hunt out on us. Um,
Yes, they took extreme actions into their own hand and sabotaged their own movement. I don't know why they decided to do this in some desperate attempt to, how do you put it, stick it to the man.
yeah,
It was
not
a pointless endeavor.
yeah. Uh, you're preaching to the choir. Um, I was wondering if your offer was still on the table despite that.
Of course, Miss Mayhew. In fact, there's even more on the table now than it ever was. Things are very important to make sure that you are safe.
Yeah. Um, I. That's why I didn't want to wait the extra 2 days. Um, I made my decision, and I would like to join Clan Nosferatu if they'll have me.
Excellent. Well, I've spoken to the others on this, and they are very interested that you are brought back to your true family. Now, I gave you a task, and I gave you options, decisions. What is your decision, or have you found some other way to prove your loyalty to the clan?
I'll take a blood bonding. I'll do it. I I don't have any other way to do it, and it's I'd rather accept that and uh, and let that be the way to prove myself.
Hmm, very well, Miss Mayhew. I shall adopt you. You shall become my child, and I shall be your sire. I shall teach you the ways of the clan. I shall teach you the secret parts of the city. I shall teach you the disciplines that you need to know in order to survive. I'll give you access to the information that you need to know. Even as an Anarch, we always allowed the Nosferatu to access the ScratchNet, but I don't believe you have. We'll need to make sure that that is arranged for you.
I've been on. I just haven't said much. I mean, what do you really say when it comes down to, hey guys, sorry I'm not with you, but here, have a little bit of information while I take yours.
Well, that is the trade. You see, the exchange of mutual information is part of what makes Nosferatu who they are. Information that you might find might be useless to yourself, but to another Nosferatu could be a powerful bargaining tool, or might even save their life. Well, their own life. So now that you have seen my little secret chamber, you should be glad. You're the first person in many, many decades to have stood foot in this chamber besides myself.
Well, I appreciate that you have found me able to come here and I guess trustworthy enough. Although I really don't know if I could find my way back here without a map or something, at least not yet. This
Oh, don't worry, I will show you the paths. Now, Miss Mayhew, before my court of pets, you have made an agreement with me,
Yes, I have.
and this old place we don't use cups.
Oh, oh, yeah. Okay. Um, all right. She steps forward and she takes the arm a little bit, but with my two hands, just to sort of steady it. And she brings her mouth to it, and she chomps down, and takes a bit of blood, enough to you know work. Removes her mouth, kind of touches up her lips a little bit, making sure she didn't spill anything, and steps back, making sure she swallows. That was huh. That's it, huh?
Yeah, such a simple act, yet it has so many meanings and effects behind it. So simple, yet the agreement is sealed.
I
We
appreciate
have
this.
a long way to go together, Miss Mayhew. There will be some years before you are made not a fledgling anymore, but a full neonate. I'll need to show you the ways to the Camarilla. You've only seen things from your perspective of your friends. You haven't seen what it's like on the inside. By all means, I actually spoke to Nathaniel about you before I was going to finalize this agreement.
Uh, I wow. What did he have to say? I was, I mean, I was planning on telling him. Well, I don't even know where he is right now, if he's even anywhere.
Well, we spoke briefly, but we're to the point. He was agreeing of my point that unlike the other Anarchs who have seen the Camarilla for what it is, the good parts and the bad parts, and have chosen to leave and make their movement, you were never given that opportunity.
Very
You
true.
also made an agreement that I would protect you, that I would prevent any other kindred from attempting to bond you. This I gradually accepted. At the same time, you're also to be given freedom. Should you wish to go back and talk to the Anarchs or that group, I will not stop you. But you also have to bear in mind that there are consequences to actions. Now that you have made this bond with me, if we can wipe away this damage to your reputation, we can bring you to the clan fully. But if you spend too much time amongst the Anarchs, you might recreate that label to yourself all over again.
At this point, I don't know if there's enough anarchs left to make that problem anymore. And even if there is, I don't know. I mean, it's one thing when people are just fooling around, sitting around, in a bar talking about getting a warehouse and ghouling an old man, but that oil rig, uh, I didn't even. I mean,
Tell me, what did they tell you of what happened at that oil rig? Why did they do it?
uh, it was the talks they were talking about. They were just talking about causing trouble, making a union get upset, and not nothing explosive. Nothing. Nathaniel said he didn't want people hurt, or I mean, at least not that hurt. He just wanted, at least if he could help it. He's a good guy. I mean, even with the Kuei
Yes,
Jin problem, he was all rah rah, let's kill the Kuei Jin before we get all back to politics. But
I
uh,
believe he has found himself misguided or perhaps misled. Maybe someone gave him bad advice that he chose to follow. You see, in the action of destroying that oil refinery, you see what it's done to the Anox, and you see that the Anox have gained nothing, and the only damage they've actually done have been to the kind of the city. Those who sought employment at that place, those that were going to make businesses to refine the production that was to be given to the city from that lovely oil, that black gold. By all means, it made the prince money, but Prince likely had a contingency plan in place should the refinery be damaged. He knows that any place that is of value to him is likely to be targeted.
up until now, the Anarchs have always talked big, but they never really did anything. It was just,
Well, this is why they need advice, they need guidance, they need their clans to train them. You see, too many just go and see a few things they don't like and fall to rebellious natures of wanting to be in control of their own destiny. Destiny, by all means, is a bit of an illusion. We are pieces in a great game. I might have my pawns, and they do not realize I move them about this board, but at the same time, I'm likely somebody else's pawn and not realized I'm being played. This is life, Miss Mayhew. This is what it's like to be one of the kindred. Your freedom and
yeah,
happiness are where you make it.
yeah. When you come from a life where the idea of sticking it to the man is having a protest where you sit in tents for a couple of weeks, it's a different world. It's a
Yes, and
completely
that's
different
why I
existence.
believe so many of the younger kind, the kindred, the newer ones recently raised. That's why the adults usually are filled with their ranks. That's why they are patient. It takes years to develop true patience, and this was also why Nathaniel's such an important piece of the entire movement. You see, there are always going to be anarchs. They are going to appear. Even if all the anarchs in the city was wiped out tomorrow, it'll be a mere month before another one showed his head and another one joined them. They're all a part of our lives, and we need to know how to work with them to the extent that we can make sure that their game continues but does not damage that which we care about.
Understood.
This is part of what it means to be a Nosferatu, to be able to step back and observe from the shadows and see where a little bit of a push is needed to ensure that a favorable outcome is made.
Oh, I mean,
Now, I believe you will have great potential for that. I've got plans for you, Miss Mayhew. You are a popular person. You are very well liked by those that speak to you. You have a charming personality. People find you trustworthy. You can use that to your advantage if you're put in the right place.
I guess I could. I mean, I just never really. I mean, not here. But never really thought about it too much. I mean, like I said before, I haven't really been a very good Nosferatu up until now.
Oh, but that can change now that we've brought you into the family. You see, you need to have a chance to just sit back and realize what you are. You have a mortal life that you've left behind, but you still cling to some parts of it. You have developed skills during that time. You need to sit down and know what those skills are. You need to know how to use them. For example, I was in my mortal life a very different man to what I am now. I was blunt, rash, I did not think through my decisions, and I paid the price. But when you pay the price so many times, you learn what it means. You learn how to avoid paying such a steep cost. You know where discretion is the better part of valor, and you know where iron will break your enemy better than any fist.
I understand.
Now, come with me. Let us walk, and I'll show you the old paths. I'll show you parts of the sewers that have not been seen by any but the Nosferatu for many, many years. You'll see that down here it's not so bad. Yes, the water drips and people are finding things slippery. But here we are safe. Here we hold power. Here few come to threaten us.
I like the idea of safety. Safety is a good thing. I'll just have to buy some sneakers that know how to grip, that's all.
Hmm. Now I will also be providing you with a new place to make your residence within my domain. It'll
Oh,
be a well-appointed flat. You should be more than comfortable there. I'm sure you can arrange the movement of all your possessions. But should you
um,
ever need, I'll show you where you can find and make a home within the wardens that we keep down here. Several Nosferatu live down here all the time, and they make their homes in a specially located spot where others won't tread unless they know where to find it.
so it's like a labyrinth dorm. I can get behind that.
I like the way you put it, Miss Mayhew. Yes, that is correct.
All right.
Now, I must ask this form. The clan will protect you. It will do what it can for you because you're one of us. At the same time, you must realize that the clan might need you to protect us. We can't be everywhere. We can't do anything. You need to be able to protect yourself. At the same time, you need to be able to help your brother or your sister when they need it.
Oh, I mean, I'm not a very good fighter. I was really more of a track girl than a martial arts kid or anything.
Oh, there are many ways to go about doing this. Maybe a bullet in the darkness is required, or maybe just the right words in the right ears. There are many ways that you can help your brothers and sisters.
Well, if they protect me, then I, in turn, should protect them. And
Correct.
I'll have to figure out however it is I can do that.
Yes, when we can, we shall arrange a gathering of the clan and we shall ensure that you are introduced to all of them.
I think I'd like that. And,
You'll
you
be
know,
surprised the type of people that have been chosen to join us over the years. I think that you might quite like them.
I might. I haven't really met a lot of them. I mean, bad side, Anarch Bar. Don't see that many there.
Yes, yes. And there's still a few of the Nosferatu that are amongst the Anarchs. I haven't decided what to do with them yet, because you seemed worthy. You seemed to have that very rare quality of sense behind you. I could see that one day that you would come to me or come to the clan and ask to be taught. It was only a matter of time. But for the others, I don't think that they will come along so easily. And we're not going to force anybody. It needs to be their choice.
I can totally understand that. I mean, I had to make it, so should they.
Hmm. But for now, we shall leave them in their place. We shall see how things develop. There have been some rather powerful friends of mine that are wishing some drastic actions are put against the Anarchs. I've done my bit of influence to help give the Anarchs a chance. I don't wish to see them hurt or wiped out. By all means, I don't agree with their views, but those are views I respect nonetheless.
I I mean, I think everybody's pretty much out for the Anarchs right now anyway. It's nice to at least know that some people are at least considering them not a scourge of the earth.
Yes, you see, there are many uses to this movement. They are part of this game. And here's one way to see the game. On one side, you have the prince, and you have all the various allies and connections to the prince. And on the other side, you have the Sabbat. I'll teach you about them later. On the other side, you have a small clan of Setites. And on the other side, you have the various other enemies. And the Anarchs are right in the middle between all those sides. They are not making things easy for themselves, but they've also put themselves in a position where they can see things potentially better than those that are part of the clan can see because they have an outside perspective. They need to exist because by their existing, they point out our own weaknesses. And when our own weaknesses are pointed out, we can compensate for them.
Right. You gotta start small before you can go after something big.
Yes, so they need to exist, Miss Eleanor, but they must be kept in check.
Well, they've been kept in check all right. I don't know if enough of them exist to even continue right now. I mean, I'm sure they do somewhere, but
Yes, we shall see how things develop. I will ask you that keep your ear to the ground. Use your contacts as best you can, but do so safely. Information is power in this game. What you learn might be of great use. Use it wisely.
I'll remember that. And
And yes, we are coming across the section, the nexus hub, so to speak. From this spot over here, you see all these paths lead all so many directions. That path over there will take you to the docks. Currently, the storm pipes are rather flooded, but if you want to have a quick escape, it's a useful path to take. That path over there will take you to the greener part of the city where the gangrel make their territory. This path over here leads to my domain. That path over there will take you towards the Prince's Elysium. These are the places where we navigate.
they're all
Uh,
under our jurisdiction,
yes,
even if it goes
and
under someone else's territory.
well, they don't control what's underneath their territory. Very few decide to stake their claim down here, thinking it's beneath their notice. They don't realize what freedom it is to be able to move around the city unseen and unknown.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And it is here I shall leave you, Miss Eleanor. I have some matters to attend to, and I trust you need to go and make your own arrangements. Here are the keys for your new place of residence.
And she takes them from his hand. Oh, wow. All right.
You'll find it more comfortable than your current living conditions, and there is security available there. There is a computer there that will give you access to many of the cameras I've installed around the vicinity. They'll allow you to see what is coming to and from, so you can spot any threats or potentially useful movements around you.
Wow, you really do think of everything.
I've been making my preparations for quite some years.
Well,
And do you have any final things you wish to say?
no, well, thank you first. I really do appreciate you still extending this offer despite current events. And yeah, I think this is going to work out. I think this
Yes.
is.
Let me give you a contact number for me should you require my aid. This will be easier than simply going around the sewers waiting for my pets to spot you. And I believe it would also mean that you won't need to require a new pair of jeans.
Yeah, good thing I wore the rugged ones, huh?
Mm-hmm. If there's
Uh,
anything else that you require, Miss Mayhew, please let me know.
oh no, I mean this is good. This is amazing. I mean this is golden ticket stuff.
Yes,
um,
few get the opportunity for this, so don't squander the opportunity.
no, I definitely won't. Um, this is this is what I needed to hear right now. Safe to say.
Now, while I've agreed with Nathaniel that you would have your freedom to go where you wish and deal with whom you wish, I recommend that for now you stay away from the Anarchs.
I could not agree with you more right now.
And if anyone should bring that up, tell them that you're no longer an Anarch, that you have been fully welcomed into the clan, and to harm or threaten you is to harm or threaten the clan.
I'll uh I'll well, if they contact me, um I'm not going to be trying to contact them right now. Not yet. It's a little too hot, so to speak.
Hmm. Excellent. Well, I must be off, and your training will begin soon. I will summon you when you are needed.
Does summon mean call or does summon mean send a pack of rats after me?
The rats have their own uses, but I believe I'm rather fond of just being able to call people.
I appreciate that. I mean, not that your fuzzy friends aren't lovely, just they, a phone call always works for me. I promise I won't screen your calls or anything. Um, thank you, Mr. Morgan. I will leave you to your business, and I will talk to you soon. She gives a very, not a deep bow, but a very, very conscious bow, stands back up, turns around, and starts wandering her way towards probably the easiest way towards the Latin Quarter. Um, Not
It's
quite
the
sure.
panel on the left, Miss Mayhew.
Oh, sorry. I think I was heading towards the Gangrel territory. Sorry. And she turns back around and heads the correct way, and waves a goodbye, and heads off, pulling out her cell phone again and using it as a light to make sure she doesn't stumble too much.
Good evening,
And
Miss Mayhew, until we meet again. And with that, we shall call